Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, before we get started with the AEW Wrestle Dream recap, I got one question for the people.
Swerve house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of GOW, the Generation Wrestling Podcast. As always, we had to give y'all a sober review. I'm the franchise. He's the king. Bro, last night, brother.
Man, dude. Last night was definitely one of our finest. Most definitely one of our finest shows. Hey, shout out to the people, man. So many people that showed up last night. Just showed up and showed out. And just hung out with your boys, man, for the 3 to 4 hours. Earl cussed you out because you kept saying he was at home when he wasn't at home. So that was, we just having fun with that. The champ showed up, Penelope showed up. We had a lot of new people, Austin and Ivan. Well, I think Ivan's been on there before. There was another new name on there. I didn't remember, but it was just fun and cool to see everybody show up and show out, man. And then of course, hey, Edge is official like a referee whistle, man. He
yes,
is
sir. Yes, sir.
Man, bro, first of all, got to give TK, got to give him his just due. Got to give him a lot of love because within less than 2 full months, he's given us 3 pay-per-views. And 2 of them I really felt like, got knocked out the park. The other one was okay. It was what it was. We understood what that was.
All out was gonna be all out. It was what it was.
Yeah, but the Wrestle Dream, bro, I really felt like, okay, one of the issues that we had with TK and the pay-per-views when he first started AEW is we felt like, man, the pacing, it was the pacing. We felt like, man, every match don't need to be a 20-minute match, right? And I feel like with this, he had 13, 14 matches on the card altogether if you include the buy-in. And I feel like, bro, he did a really good job of the matches that was shorter needed to be shorter. The matches that needed to go longer, I felt needed to go longer. One of our complaints we said was about the women not being featured on the show as much, but I felt like the match that went on, I felt like, and where they went on in the show and the amount of time they got, I felt like, okay, you know what? If you are only going to have one women's match, they went out there, they killed it, they made the best out of it. I feel like there was so many different flavors of ice cream yesterday, and I feel like there was literally something for everybody. If you actually paid attention to the card, was it the greatest pay-per-view? No, but for what it was, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. Talk to the people.
No, I did too. Because man, when I'm sitting here looking at the prediction sheet, and just looking at the matches we had, and I, starting off with what was the first match? Okay, the handicap match was what it was. There was just more of just MJF just kind of going through some shenanigans and just pulling out a victory, and he did that. The Shibata and Eddie Kingston match, I really thought was a really good match. They didn't really hold anything back. They kicked, they slapped, they punched, they submit, they stretched, they figure four, they really try to beat the hell out of each other, and you just saw the mutual respect between both men, and in which that true art of wrestling that a real wrestling fan could appreciate, and I appreciated that because I appreciated the match from start to end. Kingston wasn't about no funny business. It was all regular, straight, real business. So that was cool there. And then when you think about a couple of matches, like I said, Statlander and Julia, that was actually a pretty good match. Again, I still couldn't believe Julia won 28 matches in a row, but it is what it is. But she got that. And then of course the fatal 4-way wasn't bad. I was disappointed in who won because I didn't feel like the Young Bucks needed to get the victory, but they are already sitting on trios championships right now from Ring of Honor. So it's like y'all didn't really need this. Plus, one of you already got a singles championship. So like, how many more title opportunities y'all need? But it is what it is. And then, of course, man, we got, to me, one of the best matches on the night for me. The most anticipated match, of course, man, was our boy Swerve and that boy Nana coming down, swerving while he driving. I mean, my boy was hitting it. He was hitting it. He was hitting it last night. But Swerve and Hangman, they delivered. They gave me a good match. And Swerve got that victory, man. He got that he showed the world, man, that he is that dude. He he can be that guy that can win that championship and and be the franchise of the company. So, and again, of course, man, you just can't go wrong with 7-star FTR. You can't go wrong with Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. They put on a wrestling clinic.
Yeah,
they put on a wrestling clinic, and it was just like, yo. Of course, the trios match of Omega, Jericho, and Ibushi. I'm over messing up his name again. Going up against Ospreay, Sammy, and Takeshita. Like that was an okay match. That was, it was okay. It was okay. But then, of course, man, after all of that, we got the 2 out of 3 falls match, which Darby Allin almost had it until Nick Wayne came out, and I guess hey, he wants Christian to be his new stepdaddy. So so mom didn't look too happy about it, but hey, he wants a new father figure. So
new pappy.
Yeah, he wanted a new pappy, but so he ended up costing Darby Allin the victory last night. But with that being said, we got the rated R superstar. You think you know me? He came down, and we thought that and Christian said, "You think you know me?" And he let him be known. Nah, you don't know me, bro. So it was overall was a pretty good show. I think the anticipation, the build up for it, like you said, the pacing was good because once the match ended, they were quickly into the next match. Like, all right, let's get to the next match. We ain't got a whole lot of backstage segments or shenanigans to really go through. Let's go. We got the next match to promo. Let's put the promo out. Let's get the people out. Let's go. Let's do this. So I had no problem with that. If I got to rate the pay-per-view, you know how we do out of 5, I got to give it a solid 4.2. I like the pay-per-view. Wrestledream was really good. I had a lot of matches on here that I enjoyed, especially the ones I really wanted to see, and a couple of them I wasn't too sure about, and they were better than what I thought. So I got to give it at least a solid 4.2.
Oh yeah, easy. And like I said, man, like dude, the pay-per-view, like I said, man,
and it went off before midnight. I meant to add that, and it went off.
And it went up. It's crazy, and it's funny we said that. Well, you just mentioned that, I should say, because when we looked at the original match card, we're like, bruh, all right, we know TK, man, this shit going off at least 1 o'clock, and then it went up before midnight. I'm like,
TK came through. What up, Leo?
Yeah, what up, Lee? TK up here listening to the folks. So nah, bro. Again,
you must have listened to us because I told him, I'm like, man, TK, this need to end by midnight, bro. You're giving people a lot of wrestling. It needs to end by midnight.
But you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed it nonetheless. And it was what it was. It was a good show, man. But hey, real quick, bro, because we got our Monday night block party later on. Let's go through the card. Let's talk about some of the matches. Let's talk about some of the key moments, and let's do what we do.
Man, like I said, man, for me, the MJF match was really just more of, is somebody going to come out for him or is he going to actually win? Of course, he had to cheat to win. The referee kind of saw it, but he let it go by, and it was cool. Like it wasn't nothing crazy. It still makes you wonder who the person is under the mask, but I felt like whoever it was it wasn't MJF only because it didn't look like he was this height. It looked like the person was taller, maybe a little slimmer than MJF. But clothes can look slimming on a person, especially in black. You can really look slimming in it, and I don't know. I mean, if it is him, I mean, it's a hell of a way to go. I mean, why not, man? You still call yourself the devil, so it ain't like you running away from it. Like, yeah, you may be a little bit more fan friendly now that you're with Adam Cole, but you're still an asshole. So we'll see what that comes from that, man.
Well, like you said, he's still a scumbag, but he's the people's scumbag. Leo says franchise was out before midnight. I showed the hell was.
Yeah, he was, boy. Hell yeah, we all were.
Hey man, look, I was lost a long time ago, buddy.
Oh man, last night was crazy, man. His alter ego, the franchise 216, showed up last night. That's who showed up last night. He went from wrestler to rapper real quick.
Oh man,
he switched it up real fast.
Oh man, he said he went from wrestler to rapper real quick. Hey, I pulled a swerve.
Hey, real fast, real swerving while you're driving, baby. Swerving while you're driving. Oh shit, man.
Oh man, but nah, bro. Hey, last night was a movie. Last night,
it was.
Leo says hiccups and all. Hey, okay, so here's the funny part. I thought I was imagining me having hiccups. I didn't realize I was on the I was on the show hiccuping.
Damn, boy.
Oh shit!
Oh man. Oh
That makes it all the more funny. Oh my god,
that
is
really
funny.
does. It really does, man. It really does. Oh man, but and then of course, man, like I said, man, we had Eddie Kingston and Shibata, and of course, man, Mr. Sexy Music, man. I don't know why, man. It just the sexy music just really hits different, man. And it just really brings you to a certain tone. Like this dude about to come out here and whoop my ass. Centrally. Why is these man about to centrally whoop my ass? Like,
You're getting a sensual beating.
Man, I ain't never seen someone get a sensual beating before. But like I said earlier, man, I really like just the back and forth between these two. Like I said, they really slapped and punched and kicked and really it relaxes you before an ass whooping. It does, Leo. It does, and I do. But that's why Kingston came out front last because he would have been too relaxed if Shibata came out last. Oh man. But it was a really good match and I liked it. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought at one point it did look like Shibata might actually try to pull it off and be a Triple Crown champion off the top. Like, damn, boy, you got 3 titles. You came in with 1 and walked out with 3 altogether. Like,
right.
Like, that's a big deal. So, but overall, the match itself, like I said, I really liked it. The figure 4 spot was cool. Like, it really, because I don't think it was really one spot for me. The finish was nice. I like the back and forth for the finish, but just overall, man, I just felt like the match, it wasn't too rushed, but yet they did what was needed.
Yeah, I mean, look, first of all, Kingston, like you said, Kingston came out, he did his thing. Shibata came out, did his thing. But again, man, this is what I love about Eddie Kingston. He can go out there and he can beat the shit out of you. He could take an ass whooping. It could be a war of words, but after the match, man, like you can tell like he's somebody who genuinely loves professional wrestling. A lot of people give him shit about his build and his character and the way he's not the most physically imposing looking wrestler. But when he go out there, man, if it's one thing you're gonna know about the Eddie Kingston match, 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna be a match, it's gonna be a fight. But at the end of that, man, you're gonna leave with so much more respect for him, man. That guy, to me, I don't care what nobody say, he's a top guy in AEW.
Yeah, of course he's a top guy in AEW. He's one of the most popular guys. Every time he comes on, people cheer him. They want to see him. They want to see the Mad King be mad. So it's like, bro, it goes without saying. But and yeah, he's not the most athletic guy, but he can hold himself with anybody. He can fight in there with anybody. Yeah, definitely big props to Eddie in his first world title defense too. So hell of a match and hell of a person to defend it against.
Yes, sir. Damn, that was a good match. But you brought up another match earlier. Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr.
And again, and that's why I'm like, man,
I'm still hurting watching that match,
dude. That they was all over the place, man. They was submitting reversal after reversal, counter. It's like, dude, really? you countered the counter of a counter of a counter? Like, hey, shit. I forgot who was leading at this point, but it was really good match. Like I said, Bryan, I thought maybe Zack would get the victory, but he ended up losing, and BD ended up getting that victory. So, hey, man, I was all for it. Like I was just really all for it. But it was a really good match, man. Just to see Bryan Danielson so happy in his element.
Yeah,
like, and that's his element. Like when you think of Bryan Danielson, and when you watch him in a ring with somebody like that, like, man, I so just could have wished that if healthy enough, or if the timing was right, man, to see a match with him and Kurt Angle. Like I do, like I mean, I had to take Chad Gable for right now, because Chad Gable to me is kind of closer to Kurt Angle we're gonna get right now as far as that type of style. But man, I just really feel like that would be a hell of a match, man, because Kurt worked well with Benoit and Eddie and Chris Jericho, and a lot of guys that he can really go, even with Brock, Brock being a beast, but he's an amateur wrestler. There's just certain guys, man, that really when they are that Leo says Danielson versus Zack was a 5 out of 5 stars, baby, 5 out of 5. you just really you really appreciate those type of matches and just the technicality of it and just the strategic way of getting the better of the other man. And last night we saw that, and I enjoyed the hell out of that match, man, for real.
No, I did too, dude. I did too. Like again, man, it literally was a wrestle dream, man. It was some matches I'm looking like, okay. Like if I was on the fence about it during the match, I'm like, all right, you know what? This shit crazy. Like this is crazy. Like Swerve versus Hangman, bro. Like that was nuts. Christian Cage and Darby Allin and main eventing. It's like, bro, when Christian Cage first, like again, when he first came to AEW. It was like, okay, whatever. Now I'm looking forward to seeing Christian Cage out here, bro. Like, cause Christian is such a dickhead, but his assholish ways and ability to tell a good story on the mic and in the ring has helped elevate people. Because him and Darby Allin, that just rose Darby stock even more. Nick Wayne, dude, just turned 18, got a professional wrestling contract for the second biggest company in the world, and now he's aligned with Christian Cage. So it's like I could just imagine, man, bro. Like, hey,
yeah, he's like, you said your father died. What's your mama's number? Hey, man,
that's how he coming.
Hey, man, but that's he knows how. But that comes from Christian. That's the one thing about Christian. Regardless to how people might have viewed him, he's always been a talker. He's always been a guy that would go with a character and make it work. I mean, regardless if he was healed in WWE, TNA, especially his TNA run, it's like that just put him on a whole nother level, man. Because when you really think about it, he can go in the ring with anybody. Christian can wrestle with anybody. The dude, like he's had matches where, yeah, man, he's won. Edge has come off bigger, and it's no different than how Jeff Hardy's come off bigger than Matt Hardy, or how Bubba comes off bigger than Devon, or maybe Devon comes off better than Bubba sometimes. But you've always had that, or Shawn Michaels was better than Marty. You've always had one tag team partner that's a little bit more to the people than the other one. And Christian was no different from that. But he had a great singles run. The dude could have competitive matches. He can have compelling rivalries. He can, like I said, he can go in there with anybody, and he's won any and everything. So just him being the guy that he is, and not really doing too much, but doing enough. And see, and I said that then when he first came in, I said I don't have a problem with Christian coming in as long as he's not doing too much. But if he's doing enough, I can rock with it because he's not trying to overstep. But he's coming in and he's messing with these young kids and these Jungle Boy and all them. This is who he's going in and going at it with, and and all the ones that's got dead fathers and uncles and stuff, with single mamas and aunties. Other than that, man, that hey, pervy Christian, that's what he is now, man. He going after all the widows.
Hey, the widow maker.
The widow layer.
A widow slayer.
Yeah, there you go, the widow slayer. There it
widow
is, boy.
slayer. Oh,
there it is, man. But no, that main event was pretty good. Like I said, the FTR versus Aussie Open, it was okay. I think like the Ricky Starks and Yuta match was okay. The FTR match was okay. The Omega and them match, they were okay. They were there, but I think honestly, once you got to Swerve and Hangman, and then you got to Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., because we kind of got them like, well, not back to back, but it was like three, like, because it was like cool, because Swerve was the fifth match, and then Yuta and Starks was the sixth match, and then it was Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. So that's why Moxley was out there that long time for both of those matches. But again, man, I to me, that was the cream of the crop of the show right there.
And by the way, we need more Mox on commentary. Mox, he said he got fined so much money yesterday, but it was well worth it. The people,
hey man, we that's what we love it, man. We love hearing Moxley talk that talk. And hey, Tony knew what he was doing. Tony knew what he was doing. And then of course, like I said, man, and then of course we had the special surprise of Edge showing up, and right now, man, he's gonna show up on Wednesday. I believe the anniversary show I mean, that is the anniversary show, ain't it?
So I actually watched this interview when I came to. So Edge. So one, yes, he's going to be on Dynamite this Wednesday. He's also going to be on Collision this weekend, and he's also I think next week, I believe Tony said next week or maybe the week after. I got to check.
Some special Tuesday, some title Tuesday.
Title Tuesday. Title Tuesday. He's going to wrestle on that. But the thing that I took away the most. Yep. But the thing that I took away the most is that Edge is coming back full time. He said, look, this ain't gonna be no every 3 month thing. He said, I wanted to do that in WWE. They only wanted me to come in when they wanted me to come in. He said, dude, I love this business. He's like, they asked him, like, who you want to get in the ring with? I want to get in the ring with a Swerve. I want to touch a Kenny Omega. He says, I'm here. He said, I'm gonna be on every show every week. He said, I'm a full-timer and I'm gonna do everything I can for as long as I can. So he said for this initial contract run, bro, this ain't no every other now and again Edge. No, bro. We getting Adam Copeland. So yeah.
Which is fine, man. And this is what I want people to understand about AEW. Is like, yeah, people are like, oh, they're just hiring ex-WWE guys. Well, again, this is wrestling. This is the wrestling business, man. Where do you think all these guys come from? They don't all just start out in one company. They start out in other companies. They all have been through other companies, man. But sometimes for a company like AEW, you need, and we said it, we said, you know, they can try to build it on their own stars themselves, but they're going to need some names. They got to have some names. Adding Jericho was a good thing. Adding Jericho was good. He became your inaugural AEW champion. So that right there, and he was still able to do stuff. So it's like, bro, that was a good thing. And then you had Moxley come over. But while that, you were still building up the Darby Allin, and then you had Sting there. So having Sting come along and just kind of be another veteran presence, but not be dominating, that was a good thing. And we saw where that has gone for Darby Allin through the years. So it's like, and like I said, people like Orange Cassidy, they had to, you know, slowly come up. Best friends, them slowly come up, and then you had Death Triangle, which they were so hot coming over. So you had some of the guys that never really been in WWE, but were names, and then you had to get some of the guys that were in WWE but made a bigger name outside of the company. And that's the thing, because Pac, he was good in WWE. Don't get me wrong, he made a name for himself, but he also made a name outside of the company. He made a bigger name for himself, just like Cody did, just like AJ Styles did, just like a lot of these wrestlers do. So honestly, to see him come and want to help elevate some of these talent, even if people want to say this is just WWE's way of ciphering out AEW's talent, you know what? I see it both ways. Because either way it go, they gonna get some of their talent, they gonna get some of their talent, and it's gonna go back and forth. But that's the wrestling business. You gonna got guys leaving. Hell, the Righteous just came from Impact. They was in Impact not too long ago, and now where they're at, they're in AEW. Come on, man. Cass, he was AEW. Now where he's at, he's in Impact. That's what happens in this business, man. And a lot of them go back and forth for New Japan. So I'm good with him being there. And you can best believe he's gonna do what he say. Everything he said, you best believe it. But that's why you kind of love him, Christian, and other guys that's just really helping put these Jericho. Like, dude, like they're still putting these guys over.
And you got and my thing is too, like, you know, Edge, Christian, Jericho, or Adam Copeland, whatever,
Moxley, Claudio.
They come from the eras of wrestling we love most, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody talks about the Attitude Era. Everybody fawns and is in love with the Attitude Era and talk about how that was one of the golden eras, right? And you know, some we got the Ruthless Aggression Era. Well, you got guys who were at their highest peaks in their careers coming from there, coming to AEW. So it's not like you get a bunch of rejects. No, you're getting legit Hall of Famers and people who made wrestling then and what it was then to make it what it is now. And these are people that are coming to tell you, you and I, when we first started this whole podcast thing, man, the Flawless too, got to include him. You know, we said the one thing about AEW, and this is before they got Adam Cole, this is before they got Bryan Danielson, we said they needed one big name. That's it. We said they needed one more name. We seen the Sammy Guevaras. We already knew what Jericho was. That was a given. You know, the Kenny Omegas, the Bucks. They had talent, but they didn't have that one extra name. Jericho couldn't do it by himself. Kobe can't always do it by himself. And bro, then we got Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson all in the same night. And it's crazy because people was like, if you weren't a fan of AEW, you said AEW was a reject company, it was a knockoff company, it was this, that, and the third. And then they go out here and get some legitimacy, and people want to shit on it. I don't understand. Like, so many people, a lot of people showed love to Edge last night. A lot of people. But there was so many people, bro, who like Edge is a traitor. Edge is this, bro. He wrestled for 30 years for the same.
Because people have been drinking the WWE Kool-Aid for so long. AEW's been around for 4 years. I get it, but
here's the thing, bro. WWE would have never brought Edge back if AEW would have never offered him a contract first. That's the only reason people get to see Edge wrestle in the WWE ring.
And that's true. And that's true. But that's that spitefulness of Vince. That's why I say, man, when all that kind of allegations kind of stuff kind of happened, I ain't gonna lie, man, that was kind of a turn for the best with the company, man, because if they were still, if Vince is still in charge, if that allegations doesn't happen, let's say even up until he sells the company, Vince is still in charge making decisions. We're not getting none of this stuff that we've been getting for the past year. We're not getting to see some of these fresh new names and people come in and do stuff. Hey, we're not getting none of this, man. We're gonna continue to see Finn Balor get treated like shit. Damian Priest might have won because Vince was very high on Damian Priest. He did like Damian Priest. I don't know. I just don't feel like a lot of the people that we see coming up would actually get the opportunities that they're getting now. And we know how Vince loves to run shows. He loves to run so many matches, 2-3 minute matches, and then with disqualifications and a whole bunch of BS. And then it's like, bro, nobody want to watch all this. Like, people were crapping on the one Raw. Apparently he had took over and rewritten. And people were crapping on it like, bro, this isn't what we've been watching, because people have gotten used to what Triple H is doing. Triple H makes the matches feel more important, man. It's not just a gimmick or a 5-minute match. You're watching a 20-minute battle between some people. If people have been so used to it that they won't. It's still gonna take time to get out of it. Like, there's still people that are just they look. WWE is WWE. Love WWE. I've never stopped watching WWE, but I'm not gonna pretend like for the last 25 years, like, bro, you've been kind of stalemating. You've been kind of falling out with a lot of the talent. And now, man, we're watching these talents go to other places and become bigger name, but because it's not WWE, nobody really puts some respect on it. But y'all gonna have to put some respect on AEW. You can keep saying what you want to, but look, let them make it. I said they got to first make it 5 years. They about to celebrate 4 years. They make it 5 years. They got to make it another 5 years. After about 10 years, it's like, all right, man, what more can you say? Like, if they're still successful, they're still consistent. If they're still consistent and what they've been doing and they've added to it, you might have to give some respect where it's due, man, because you just can't say it's a ticking bomb company. Like, no, like, TK's got a plan. He's working it. He's doing what he's doing, and it's working. And you're seeing fresh and new talent. And as long as WWE is going to scout that new talent and try to bring over that new talent, because when you think about it, people were crapping on Jade in AEW. The WWE fans were crapping on Jade in AEW. Oh, she's terrible. She can't do it. She can't move. Oh, this and that. Oh, Jay signs at WWE. Oh my God, it's the biggest and greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, really? Yeah. Really? Like that's the reason why I don't try to. That's why I'm like, man, we don't try to sway nobody. Like, you're gonna have to see it how you want to see it. But
right.
There's no way, you could just sit up and act like WWE is just everything they do is just so perfect. Like, it's not like that. That'd be my thing. It's like, stop acting like everything they do is perfect, bro. It's like, it's not. They make just as many mistakes as anybody else. A lot of they shit don't be all that compelling. Sometimes they have trash too. Like, but all companies have, their certain trash moments. But yeah, it is what it is, man. And again, I ain't saying you got to be all hardcore for it, but damn. It ain't that damn bad.
And the last thing, man, before we wind down, but it's funny you said about Jay because and Edge and that whole situation, because it's funny. People
Leo's right too. I didn't see that, Leo. He said we all know how Gunther was getting treated before everything happened, and we do, because he almost wouldn't have been there anymore. So
because Vince wasn't fucking with him.
Right. So, it's like, dude, how do you not fuck with this guy? This guy is internationally known. Like, people love this dude. Like, but that's how people felt about Shinsuke and Asuka. It's like, bro, you got these international superstars and you're just blowing them to trash. You're not even building them up. The international love that you can get for that. So, yeah.
No. And my thing was too, you notice, and it could just be me, but I find it funny whenever talent from WWE come to AEW, it's they getting all the rejects, blah 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 blah. But you notice when motherfuckers go to AEW, go from AEW to WWE, you don't hear that same noise. Like it's amazing how that works. It's like, when they come from WWE, it's like, oh my god, like why? But then when they go to WWE, it's like, this is wow, this is great. But nobody like, man, WWE, man, they taking all the AEW. Like, bro, what?
And be honest, there are some people that are saying it. They're just not making that much noise because the ones that's complaining against WWE are, the ones that are complaining against AEW and other companies. They're speaking louder and they're drowning those people out. That's why you don't really hear as much as them because there's not a lot of them. Because a lot of them drink the Kool-Aid of WWE, and I get it, man. I get it. Like, bruh, it's WWE, but no, man, we know what was getting stale. We know what was getting stagnant, and it was the same shit every week, week in and week out. I mean, think about this, dude. For about a year and a half, we stopped doing Raw reviews. Like, dude, we didn't do Raw reviews. We weren't reviewing Raw. Like, we wasn't watching it. Y'all weren't watching it. Nobody wanted to watch it. Nobody wanted to sit there and watch 3 hours of Raw. You would watch the clips. That's what people were doing. People were literally going on YouTube and watching the highlight clips of Raw just to see what happened. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, cool. Or they would read the pages. Like, there is no they're hyping up Brian Pillman Jr. on Twitter. I mean, yeah, they're gonna hype him up, man, but that's Brian Pillman Jr. because he's Brian Pillman Jr. So that's what you're hyping up there. But it's always been that way, and it's just funny, man. Like I said, man, people gonna like what they like, and cool, that's fine, man. But man, I just sometimes it's funny, man, when you say one thing about a company for what they do, and then you watch that company that you love so much do that same exact thing, and it's like, well, what's the difference? That's all. Sometimes it's like, what's the difference, man? Well, they're WWE. That's the excuse? Is that the excuse? That's what I want to know. Is that because they're WWE? Is that the excuse that they can get away with the BS, but everybody else is gonna get over criticized?
I might be getting my lyrics mixed up here, but I believe Too Short once said, "Out of all the shit you could choose to be, you look like a hater or a bitch to me," and that's what they know. That's how I be coming off sometimes with the people. But hey, look, we love all pro wrestling, man. So we had to come on here. We definitely had to give y'all a proper sober show because as we tend to do when we are cooped up for 2 to 4 hours together and there's alcoholic beverages around, things tend to go up, down, and all over the place. So sometimes we just got a flat line to give you an even keel show.
Hey, man, real shout out real quick, man. I got a shout out to the new Tomahawk Professional Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Lou Gotti. My man picked up the championship last week, so I gotta give my boy a shout out there on the podcast, man. What up, new champ? But yeah, man, bro, like that's always been my thing. Like I can understand the criticism that people give. Like that's not hard for me to comprehend. It's just you look at one and see it and it's terrible. But you look at the other one and you see it and it's like, oh, it was okay. It's cool. There was nothing wrong with that. I didn't see nothing wrong with that. Really? You didn't see nothing wrong with that? Okay, cool. No problem. All right.
Leo says it was definitely a strange day when y'all did a Raw review again and stopped doing the NXT shows.
And again, when Vince took over NXT and he gave us that 2.0 bullshit, like, bro, it was like, dude, this is not what I want. No, you too many people, not enough of nothing, and nobody knows anything. And NXT was worse because you were watching people be terrible every match. Every match, people were terrible. Everybody was off. Nobody could talk. No, it wasn't interesting, and people were crapping on it. There's a reason why the ratings went down bad and then went off of Wednesdays against NXT. Well, that was before that, but still, it had its effect. We saw what Vince was doing and how he was looking at it, and we couldn't understand why you messing with the blueprint, man. You already had a valuable blueprint in your NXT. All you had to do was actually give a damn a little bit about it, present it a little bit more, and it could have been the third brand. You've had we already talked about this. You've had probably about 2 or 3 great opportunities to really make NXT a third brand, and you just dropped the ball on them and just made them look like the rejects of your company. And it's like, whatever, it is what it is. But bro, like I said, man, great show last night. Even funner podcast. And yeah, man, like I said, I give it a 4.2, man. The pay-per-view was good. A lot of the matches were all solid, pretty much. The timing, the pacing, like I really like that. There's just a lot that it's not just the matches, it's everything about the flow of the show that really did it for me. So Leah said the day Bryan came out and kicked the X, it was over. Man, that was that big ass foam X. That was definitely over. But yeah, man, I as far as the show, man, it was a good solid show. Like I said, the pacing, and then of course seeing Edge come out, like, dude, so awesome. So I can't wait for Wednesday. Like the block party Wednesday night gonna definitely be lit.
Can you imagine how crazy of a time it would have been? You would have had CM Punk and Edge both like just on the same episode of Dynamite. That would have been nuts. Not even doing nothing together, but just the fact that you could sit there and say CM Punk, Edge, same company, same time, same show. Like what? These are
he would have showed up. He would have showed up on Collision just to say something to CM Punk. He would have showed up if CM Punk hadn't got into it with what's
like look at this. CM Punk was gone for what? 7 years, right? 7 years. Edge was gone for 9 years. Like we never thought we would see these two in a ring again. And then it's like, bro, you had that opportunity. Like, crazy.
I wonder how much CM Punk kicking himself now. Like next time, man, you stop. I mean, look, I'm not saying that Jungle Boy wasn't wrong. I'm not saying he didn't have it wrong in it, but boy, I need you to calm down, Phil. I need you to calm down, Phil. You know, people want to see you, but you acting like, man, you don't give a shit. Like that, and lightweight, that's what it kind of lightweight comes off of. Like you don't really care. Like people want to see you, man. People want to see you, but yet, and I'm not saying you should be blatantly disrespected. Not at all. Like, not at all. But, bro, I'm gonna need you. You just got back, bro. Damn, you just got back. And you put on a great match with Samoa Joe. And I wanted to see what was gonna happen between you and MJF because I knew it was gonna come down to title versus title for the unification. It's like, all right, cool. We're gonna get the match we didn't get because of the first issue.
Right.
Now we lost out again,
man. Well, look. Don't worry, because the GLW After Dark block party is coming to you live and direct tonight for that Monday Night Rawski. Now, it's been a hell of a weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do my damnedest to try to stay as upbeat as possible. But last night, in all intents and purposes, in every form of the word, whoop my ass. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, man.
On that ass, boy.
Man, no lies detected. It was the Monday Night Wars, and I was the only one fighting.
Man, man, yourself.
I'm the franchise. He's the king. We the GOW.
Hold on before you go. Leo says, hopefully, eventually down the line, Punk and the Elite can settle it and come back. If he ain't too old, that's gonna be the problem, man. I don't know how many more times you can stop and go and come back and get ready for wrestling. You're already getting older, and injuries wasn't really in your favor in the beginning. So it's like you need to take advantage of it right now while you can. But it is what it is.
A good old Pepsi feel.
Right on. But with that being said, my guy, give those people those lovely words of encouragement.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bye-bye, bitch.